It was just amazing to think in 1973 that a lot of people didn't even know what an exorcist was, and now we've seen movies, we're more tuned into some of the spectacular and supernatural occurrences, and there's just a great curiosity that I think is really contagious, wondering what's above and beyond and what's really out there. So our movie's taking some of those threads of concepts, putting it into a modern day world, putting a spin on it that has multiple religions, and making it personal and meaningful to us today.
¿Qué tal, amigos de película? Yo soy Riva y les doy la bienvenida a este especial de estreno del Exorcista Creyentes, la primera cinta de una trilogía a cargo de David Gordon Green, con quien en momentos estaré conversando, y también al lado de Jason Blum, su productor. Tengo mucha emoción porque esta película no es una secuela directa de la de 1973, trae una historia refrescante y diferente y seguro te sorprenderá. Así que quédate conmigo y te doy la bienvenida a este especial de estreno de película. David, Jason, welcome to the estreno de película and to Mexico. It's so exciting to finally talk about this one. Oh my God, congratulations are in order. But first, I want to know, how was your experience with Pan de Muerto?
It was great. I preferred the chocolate. I like the charcoal. I enjoyed the fragrances of tears and bones that were,
It was fantastic. I was missing the virgin's blood. I was wondering where that was. I was sad it wasn't in there. I wish it was the old days when they were the real ones.
I know.
You know?
David, I know you have a pretty curious mind. So how was it to dive into different beliefs and spiritual practices in order to bring them all together for this film?
I love it because I've kind of been a novice explorer of religions and spiritualities my entire life, and to find a title like this gives you access to people pick up the phone when you call and you say you're working on a project and you need consultants, or you need to know something authentic that you're trying to explore, and so it was really a world, an infinite world opened up to me that was very valuable in this movie, and it's in a way it's inspiring to think that if we make these next two movies, that there's a wealth of infinite opportunities to play with in the various cultures and their ceremonies and rituals for dealing with possession.
You know, faith is the main theme that unifies all movies about exorcisms. Jason, I was surprised and excited to know that you had a spiritual counselor for the production team and the cast. Guide us through the importance of watching and guarding the faith for all the people involved in the film.
We actually had several from several different sets of beliefs. We had several different spiritual guides and consultants, and that was to keep our set safe, which we managed to do. We didn't have any paranormal activity on the set, and I was very relieved. And I think also people felt better knowing that there were, spiritual guides close by if they needed support.
How challenging was revisiting the past to bring this new story to now, our day and age?
Well, every time you watch the original film, it's not a challenge at all. It's exciting because you learn new things, and you have a new favorite scene and new techniques that they use so brilliantly. And for me, getting to know a film in that way, when I know that I'm the steward of the next chapter in the franchise, you need to do your homework and be respectful of those minds that put that movie on the map. I mean, it was just amazing to think in 1973 that a lot of people didn't even know what an exorcist was, and now we've seen movies, we're more tuned into some of the spectacular and supernatural occurrences, and there's just a great curiosity that I think is really contagious, wondering what's above and beyond and what's really out there. So our movie's taking some of those threads of concepts, putting it into a modern day world, putting a spin on it that has multiple religions, and making it personal and meaningful to us today.
What did you do?
Jason, in the 1973 The Exorcist, the sound effects were impressive. I don't know if you know, but probably there was a Mexican man called Gonzalo Gavira that was part of the team that made them. But in this film, the makeup takes focus, and I love that about the film. And it is wild. Can you walk us through the importance of that transformation of the girls and how it came along with the music, the sound effects, of course, and the brilliant performances of the two actresses?
Both of us really agree that we did a lot of mostly practical effects, including the makeup, which I always think are much better and much scarier because they feel more real.
You mentioned a lot of departments, and you have to work together on that, because just because you have an incredible makeup artist, if you don't light it right, it all goes down the toilet. So you have to all departments have to know what you're working on and work together, from the composers that are working even while we're shooting the film. They would be inspired by some of the dailies that I'd show them, and they just started making some ideas and concepts of themes, and then once they do start to put it together with the editors, then it's really seeing the work in concert of all of these different artists and technicians is what, I guess that's what makes the symphony.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Congratulations on the movie. I can't wait for the next two. And thank you for visiting Mexico. We're excited to have you here
It's
on
an
the
honor.
estreno de película.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Gracias por acompañarme en este especial de película de El Exorcista Creyentes. Qué emocionante fue haber podido compartir con el director y productor de esta gran cinta que será la primera de una trilogía a cargo justamente de David Gordon Green y de Blumhouse. Yo soy Riva, tú y yo nos encontramos en un próximo especial de película.